And welcome back. We're picking up where we left off, well, roughly where we left off last time in Factorio. Let the game run a little bit in between parts. I also went ahead and looked up to double check to see if we had the ability to do asteroid reprocessing. We do, so we're just going to go grab the bits for that right now. And sort of manually feed that to go. Oh, I just realized, to get that to run, we'll do one more mining productivity in the meantime. To get that to run, we need the electromagnetic parts, or the electromagnetic, or not the electro, we need the science type we don't yet have to get dropped off. Yeah, don't have them here yet. We can get the Bob Fizzle, which I think is mostly at this point rearmed, which is one of the reasons why we let it run during the break. We can get the Bob Fizzle to go pick up some. One stack of that for us, please. Also try to get some of the foundries shipped up to you. Okay, so once that's gone and done that, we'll be able to do asteroid reprocessing, which in theory will allow us to do reprocessing on our platform here. In the meantime, we're going to continue to expand this platform, sort of a spiral pattern. Partially to minimize travel distance, partially because we can. Like so. And then once we start to get over the point where it's overlapping again, we'll have to fill out the back side, or just make them wider or something. Basically, we're spiraling out because we want to get the asteroid collectors to cover more land, so we can get more inserting, so we get more ice being grabbed. I suppose the other thing we could do is switch productivity modules in here. Just to increase the productivity per acid chunk or oxide chunk. Okay, so for the moment that's working. Maybe not working quite as well as we want, but it's working. Let's... Yeah, we got... gonna have that calcite come along. I suppose for the moment it's going to be coming along that position. Yeah, we're gonna have to weave a little bit. It'll be fine. Okay. This is also going to replace this copper at some point. So, foundry-wise, let's assume, and, well, as is the case often with assuming, very dangerous thing after all, that one of those irons is going to come out and go through here to be melted instead. Need to leave some space for it to be fed in. This will be our molten iron melt. Yeah, we'll do something like that. That'll work pretty well. And then we'll want a tank to store this in. Just as a buffer tank, just like we have going for copper. So it can just go there. Okay. Save that as the storage tank. Doing the red one there for the range, not for the throughput. Okay, and then that would, in theory, work. Now, granted, it won't work while there's copper in the way, but we're gonna replace the copper with the calcite. That's what I think we're gonna do. So that'll work as soon as we find a replacement for that copper, which we should be able to do pretty easily. Probably by converting this one over to foundries. Okay. Then we're going to want inserters. Actually, I can just do copy, horizontal swap. No, I can't, because I copied things that can't be flopped. Here comes another wave of calcite, which of course goes flying through if we don't have enough consumption. Okay, and that should be enough throughput of you, and we can yoink you and let that deplete, given enough time. Well, assuming we have the calcite. Which, yes, is in some ways a very big assumption. Okay, bomb fizzle's in destination. It's got a decent enough of ammo, so I can sit here and wait for things to be delivered up to it. Currently receiving the rocket, the big mining drills. Shouldn't have any problems receiving the metallurgical science, and the foundries are probably actually going to be the thing the launch gas is going to struggle most with. How much bigger are the foundries? So we need to move the middle belt. Okay, so that's what I screwed up for over here. Foundries. Yeah, okay. So there. One space. So that would work for the left belt. And that means the pipe needs to go to the right of it, which means you would have to go there, which in this case we've got enough space, it's not going to be an issue. So this one will replace fairly well. For the moment, I actually want you to favor your left pull out of the stack so the stack depletes. Yeah, that should support 2 stacks. So we got the first stack, we're going to work on the second stack. Again, we're not going to quite have enough vertical space, but we can make it work. Do a little bit of underground to get over here. So you're waiting deliveries, yeah. We got 60 miners up there. Up here, you're not actually waiting deliveries anymore, which means we need to continue to expand. Oh, so he's making noise while they're running. Okay. And then we get some calcite that's going to go shuffling down to the planet. I'm somewhat surprised that copper isn't moving faster. Let's... Okay. That wasn't expected. I think I can fix that. Okay, not an ideal fix, but that'll work. It means we'll end up with some metal in the network. I suppose I can grab some of this metal anyway to just shove in one of these. Okay, so bot comes along, adds that one in. That doesn't fix it being on the wrong side, but that will fix it being on the wrong side. So now the whole thing will start to move. There we go. Oops, we might need that power pole. Put that one back. And then take it out to there. And I suppose now, once those belts are in, that should be a functioning iron melt. We're probably going to use it for steel first, honestly. We'll probably do the steel bit first, but also do iron as well. Is the recipe different for the steel? Forgetting. 1 steel for 30 molten. Oh, I think that works out to about the same. Maybe not quite worth it if you got some, like, productivity chaining going on. Now goes the loading at the Bob Fizzle. All the mines are aboard. I'm not sure which of these are going to get queued up for the next shipment. Probably the metallurgical science packs making the whole thing go glacial, but... Oops, no, we'll need, well, I say we need, we might not need that coal there for very much longer. Yeah, though when we don't need it there, it's because we'll have to bypass drop it down. Broke a portion of the power grid. We broke a portion of the power grid. And that'll fix the power grid. Yoink the middle out. Make sure there's a redundant power going around the bottom. And then we can go ahead and issue the tear the whole thing out command. Well, tear most of the whole thing out command. Okay, there we go. And then we're going to want foundries, much as the same before. 16 foundries. Oh, I only need 1 space between them. Okay. I need to move the whole thing over by 1. Easy enough to fix early in the designing board stage. Wait for a reason. There we go. Pick this all up again. because we need to run this up the side. With enough space to get these to contact. And then we just do like so. Oops. Gotta have them around the other way, otherwise they don't work right. And hard to unload things by loading things, yes. Okay, and then we need pipes running up the middle. Let's get the thing focused the right way first. Then I suppose the next thing we should do is, instead of shoving just a bunch more copper on the belt, figure out what we're actually doing with the copper. I think right now we're doing a lot of copper wire with the belt, which would actually be better done straight from a foundry. And if that's the case, it's an optimal place to do some optimization. And then pipes, like so. And like so, we'll connect that one up as well. And then we'll have two things of copper plates being run by foundries. At which point is when we're starting to run a little low on foundries. It's one of the reasons we want the Bob Vessel to bring us more foundries, please. Still working on loading. Oh, okay, so it's like 4 rocket launches for every 20. So we've basically asked for it to do 20 launches just for the foundries. So it's got a couple done. And yeah, this is the place where if we were to do it, we could get a throughput improvement by making the wire straight to try to make the green circuits correctly. So, copper takes 20 molten to make 2 copper. Now, 2 copper makes 4 wire? Yeah, 2 copper makes 4 wire. So if we make the wire directly, we get 4 times the yield. So 8 copper wire for 2 copper bars. So that's not bad. And it's also 2 copper is the output. What's the output on these? Okay, so once we count for the fact the foundry has production speed 2, that's not the foundry. There's the foundry. 4. Production speed 4. I think I screwed with the math somewhere. I think I've horribly screwed with the math somewhere. So what was I trying to do? Pull the calculator again. I think we just overbuilt stuff by like a factor of 2. So let's get back to this copper plate stuff. So we wanted 15. That makes 2 every 3.2 seconds. It has a productivity of 50%, so we divide by 1.5. Then it has a production speed of 4, so divide by 4. Some of you are probably looking at me like, why are you building 16 foundries? You need like 4. And you'd be right. I need like 4. Okay, let's go fix some of that. We got too many foundries. We got too many foundries on some of these lines. We can fix that. Also explains why I didn't have enough inserters loading them, because they're running 4 times faster than I had planned. Okay, so we got too many here. How do I want to fix this? Just pull up all the last 4, probably? Yeah. Okay, that should handle that. And then we can upgrade those. And turn all that into underground, hopefully. Well, I think I just wanted to have happen, yeah. Okay. And then we'll do the same underground trick here. So we get a little bit more walkable terrain. Okay, I suppose that's just saved me a bunch of foundries that we don't need to ship quite as many. It also means we really overbuilt on the foundries right now over here. Though that also means these pull 4 times as much calcite, as I assumed. Because what, that'd be 16? It's about pulling half of one, okay. So these two combined are pulling a whole calcite a second. If we sort it out to work at that speed. So 1 gear every second. It's got a speed of 4, so it's technically going to make 4 a second. Versus the assembling machine recipe that making 1 gear every half a second, so it's making 2 seconds. So it's about twice as fast of a throughput. Oh, and that's all before counting for productivity. Granted, I now have a counter for productivity on the copper. This is counting for productivity. Why are you... screwed something up with plumbing, apparently. Because you're not getting any more copper. There be the bug. Bug is fixed. Yeah, basically see it fill up the entire belt. Which, now that we did the math, is what the math predicts, that it will fill up an entire belt. And this one's basically filling up an entire belt. There's a little bit of noise in there. I think the little bit of noise might be... the little bit of noise is actually coming from the inserters. So let's update the inserters. Now goes the loading back on Vulcanus. Still waiting for more foundries to be shipped. Oh, how goes expansion of the first platform? Operational, it's going. We are basically oxide asteroid limited is what's going on here. But, you know, that's not going to work. Because that's going to run into a problem of how do I get that down here? The answer means it's probably about time to start filling in the interior. Or stop spiraling and just move this bottom bit down. other way around. So needs to come down. Like so to meet you. Yeah, definitely getting to almost that awkward degree of how do we continue expanding the platform to get more rocks. Which would partially be fixed if we didn't need to expand the platform to get more rocks. Which is where the reprocessing would come in, right? Alright, so you're running fine. We might have some problem... Well, I suppose I can do a check to see what the state of the iron melt is. If the iron melt is full, then we're probably good to go. And it's not full, but it's definitely flowing. So then the question is, where do I want to push the iron/steel first? I suppose fixing this steel mining would make sense. We don't have the space to run a 2v2 like this, but I could do a 4 with a lane balancing on it, yeah. Oh, also I suppose I have to redo the math, because the math on the steel is different. But if that is the case, let's come up here. We're going to take this one offline. Basically permanently, I suppose. So you can go take that piece of belt out and let the whole thing drain out, hopefully. And then while that's draining, we can do some math. So, we want to fill an entire belt with a steel. With steel. So that is for entire yellow belt. That would be 15 a second. This makes one output, so that's easy. We then divide by, well, actually, we multiply by 3.2, because it takes 3.2 seconds. We divide by 1.5, because it's got 50% productivity, and then divide by 4. So my math here is saying I need about 8 furnaces to make all the steel. Granted, or 8 foundries to make all the steel. Granted, that's in comparison to the 48 we were running before. I think that's an improvement. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. Oh, I can't copy the... Well, actually, I suppose... Oh, that copies the rotation as well, which isn't super ideal. No, I can fix that with a couple R presses, so... Not world ending. Don't necessarily need to save the power, but we're going to save some power. And again, copy, paste, 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 save us a couple clicks. Copy. Paste. 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 Saving some clicks. Waiting for this to drain out. It is draining out. Then we need to wait for the iron to drain out. And then we'll replace that. Well, the part we have disassembled already with proper fill throughput. Got at least a couple moments more across the way, so hopefully it doesn't run us over. And then we're still... Ballfizzle's still loading. Yep. Again, I think I got a little bit ahead of myself on the foundries. Because I forgot to count for the 4 times multiplier. This is all jammed up because I didn't make sure we could get that finished first. A little bit of assembly like so. Almost. Alright, so that's unjammed it. And yeah, this definitely would be so much more efficient with reprocessing, because we try to reprocess the extra asteroids into the oxide ones we need. So I have a long-handled inserter. Right now we're just gonna whitelist, only check over the ones we don't need. Is this going to be the ideal long-term solution? Nope. Short-term? Totally works. There, that should spool up that spin a little bit. Okay, hopefully don't need any of this power in the area. In the meantime, we're going to done power line set across, just to make sure we got the power in the right spots. Yeah, I suppose looking at the time, I should probably go ahead and end this part. We're making progress. We're getting more foundries running. We've probably sized the foundry setup so that we're not just sitting there going like, what are we... We're sitting there waiting for more foundries to come in for production we don't need because we're overbuilding bits. We're still going to want more foundries, but we don't need quite as many as we were originally thinking. Yeah, we're going to wait for this to empty out. This should empty out reasonably quickly. Favor the right... No, not the output priority. Favor the right input. But yeah, so I hope you've been enjoying. If you're watching on YouTube, there will be another part up tomorrow because I'm going to record 3 more parts tonight. If you're watching on Twitch, feel free to hang around. I am, after a very short break, going to get to recording those parts. So until the next part, wish you all the best of luck and a good time. Catch you all in the next part, and bye for now.